My name is Tazmine Murray and I'm from Inishbofin, County Galway, off the west coast of Connemara. When I was 4 or 5, my dad used to bring me the pony magazines from the shop in Cleggan. I used to dream about the pictures of the stables and the tack, and I couldn't wait to get my own stables so I could clean them out and have my own tack so I can clean the tack and everything to do with the pony. I just dreamt about. As a kid I was always brought to the Dublin Horse Show and I was fascinated by the international riders. I always dreamt about being a show jumper and riding in the main arena in Dublin. I'm based in Connemara Equestrian Centre and I have 3 Connemara ponies for the qualifiers. I grew up here on the island and I got my first pony when I was 6 years of age. My mother bought him in Mamcross Horse Fair. He was a Connemara pony. He had to come out on a fishing trawler. I had to beg for years to get him, and that was I've just been in love with him from the start. He's now 28 years of age. The last 12 years he's been bringing on young kids. He was only a 3-year-old at the time, so my mother would have done a bit of work with him. Then we used to just hack him around the roads and canter on the beaches, and then I wanted to compete, so we'd have to bring him off the island, and I was mad for jumping at the time. I would have show jumped him up till he was grade C, and I won a lot of work in hunters. We qualified for the RDS 2 years in a row in the equitation jumping. Then the age got the better of me and I had to pass him down to my younger sister, who competed him to grade A level. When I was growing up here, there was a trekking centre and I used to give a hand at the trekking centre. We used to have to walk over the road and pull them down from the mountain and ride and lead 2 or 3 at a time and bring them back. The trekking centre was just above the pier to get them ready for the tourists coming in off the boat, and that's I loved that absolutely. It was brilliant. So we used to bring them for treks all over the island, and we had different horses to serve different standards of riders. There's less than 200 people living on the island. There's, I think, 18 pupils in the school, the national school here. There's only a national school on the island. When we finish the national school, we have to go off and board to go to secondary school. It takes half an hour on the ferry to get here from Cleggan. There's an influx of tourists in the summer season with 3 ferries running a day. So when I was growing up, I wanted to join the Army Equitation School. I ended up going to race in Kildare. I was 17 years of age and I ended up getting hooked on the race horses. I was assigned to Conor Dwyer's yard. I worked for Conor for 2 years and I fell in love with the race horses. So the show jumping went out the window then. For a good few years I went race riding. I rode in a few point-to-points and bumpers. My first ride in the point-to-point was a winner in Castletown Gagan on a horse called Dark Vagabond. That race and that win was a very special time for me because I had nurtured that horse. He had a leg injury He'd done a suspensory and I had put in, I'd say, a year's work into him, minding him and building up, strengthening him again. And that was his first run back, I'd say, in probably 2 years. So it was like winning the Gold Cup.
Dark Vagabond takes it in second is Maduma, back in third is Rosebud Vic, and the final finishes Mr.
My mother used to bring us hunting. My school principal at the time, the hunt used to go from the school on a Tuesday, and I would always be out hunting on a Tuesday. So he used to turn around and say, "You'd learn more out there, Taz, than you will in here." After the racing, I went whipping in for the Galway Blazers for 2 seasons. In 2019, we were asked to parade our hounds in the Dublin Horse Show. So I had to hold the hounds on the bank for the huntsman to walk down the centre of the main arena and blow the hunting horn, and all the hounds would leave the bank and go to him. We hunted 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. We had 100 hounds in the kennels. We would hunt from October until the first weekend in March. And then in the summertime, we'd be training pups for the season ahead. We'd have to couple them up and walk them out and teach them. I come back every summer to visit family and to give myself a break. I always gave a hand in the hotel, in the family hotel as a child. So when I come back in the summertime, I do jump in and give a hand for a few weeks. I have cousins on the island that are into the Connemara ponies also. Well, it's home. Like, it's home, so I don't know what it means to me, but it's home. Everyone loves home, don't they? I've always had young Connemara's of my own, break them and bring them on to a certain level, and I was selling them on. And then I decided I had the time, I suppose, I started to hold on to them for a bit longer and produce them to a higher level. Mac Liam is a 7-year-old Connemara by Coolin America. Bought him as a 4-year-old. I broke him and I'm aiming him for the performance and the riddance. He's been very successful for me. In his first year under saddle, he qualified for Dublin. He has won a lot of ridden classes, and just this year I've started to do a few working hunters on him. He was a champion working hunter pony in Athenry Agriculture Show. Mulrook Spirit is a 6-year-old mare by Killalay Island. She is a half-sister to Mac Liam. I bought her as a 3-year-old and I'm aiming her for the performance qualifiers this year. At the start of the year, I bought a 5-year-old by Rathcoona Cove that I'm aiming for the novice riddance. It would be a big ask for him to qualify this year, but he's got great potential. I think at the start of the year, everyone's prepping towards the Dublin Horse Show. Dublin is the main aim. Everyone wants to be in Dublin.